I want to start off by saying thank you, God. Um, I have to always say that. I think this is something I can't forget to say because, as bad as things are going with me, I hear this bottom feeder talking to me and hearing how pathetic life is when they have the option to live a so much more dignified life, right? They have the option. But, the intoxication of feeling empowered and living this deluded reality. And I'm sure the incentives are more than just what they feel when they do these things, but also financial. I'm hearing this trash opening the door. Like I said, they use these bottom feeders, this childlike trash. Maybe you can hear the dogs barking. It's so pathetic. This is the level of intellect they need to be on. And and something they've been, you know, it's just for me when I hear them talking to me, I do want to see them. I'm truly looking for the day to see these people interacting with me because, I have neighbors, and maybe I should show a video about them. And these people are trash, truly human trash. The level of cowardness these people have to live on a daily basis and the nasty things they do is like they immerse themselves in foulness. When I go like out of my apartments, every once in a while, I see their door open, and then the bravery that they have is it's just a cowardness that is unbelievable. I can just see the door open. I'm like, please come out of the apartments. And the reason I say that is because they tell me how they're gonna frame me, and they're gonna frame me by saying that I did something to a child that lived in this apartment, and that they've been creating this like back and forth where they've been interacting with me without me knowing, right? So they gonna make it look like that we've been communicating. Obviously, I'm not aware of any of those communication, but these people are working for governmental entities that use human subjects as test subject, and I'm a target individual, so the sophistication of the technology can rewire the brain. So you can only imagine what they can do with phones and whatnot. So I'm listening to this trash talking to me, saying that we're gonna frame you or you raped me. I'm not an adult, or something like that. Like they literally, I'm like, and they stay in character. It's like we adults. It's like they're literally playing with themselves, like literally mentally, like just like having these dialogues that I'm supposed to be aware of, but they know I'm not aware of, but still acting in certain ways. Like, no, oh yeah, you raped a child, and you raped me. I'm a child, or some version of that. And you see this apartment door open. I'm like, I can't imagine me living life where I live in this apartment doing these things. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, because I know there's adults there guiding this trash. Like, I could be living this life. And they tell me they're going to watch me be raped and tortured and beat up and do this. And I'm like, okay, all that happens. Then I died. What happened to you? What happened to somebody who does what you do here? Because my torture, it's going to end at some point. I'm going to die, right? What a trash like you is going to do? How you move on from involving yourself in this kind of nastiness? You trash us. Pray that you continue to live this life. This is what a pathetic low life live like. This is somebody who chose to live a disgusting life. That's what they do. And this childlike trash talking to me, saying that I raped her, or whatever nasty things, is so disgusting. So please, I just would love to see this person. I have a picture. I don't have a picture. I made a video of these people, and this kid that was trying to like show her butt, just having this position to try to like make herself seeing this. I'm like, look at this pathetic low life. This is a kid that wanted to be seen in this sexual way. In my head, they still try to create this thing. I've seen this little thing. We have the same body type. Maybe now I'm skinnier than her, but we're about the same. Try to make herself like womanly. Like try to make herself have curves. This is the trash that live in this low life, in this apartment over there. A kid that they coerce to do these things. So she in her mind think that this is normal. And they tell me how they're gonna watch. You understand the bravery of these people? And they say that with as if it's like so brave when they will watch. Do you understand how retarded this trash are? For them watching somebody suffering is like a brave thing. It's a coward, low-life way of living. You can use whatever tonality. You can interact in every way. This is a coward. They try to rewire reality too. To the point where it's like, oh, we're gonna watch you scream. I was like, okay, how hard is that? Trust you don't even want to be seen. You're a low-life bottom feeder. Then you'll die. I know I'm a nobody. I know that's the reality of what this is about. I understand it. But I could live life like you. I understand they try to create these storylines of they did this fun, but we at war. This bullshit stories. The truth is they just participate in this program where they use human subjects to use this sophisticated technology onto, and then improve and optimize this technology by seeing how efficient they can manipulate somebody to break him down or her down. What disorientation, manipulation, distortion is the best and most efficient. Then they make themselves create this story like we are warriors. You're not a warrior, piece of shit. You watching somebody suffer, it doesn't make you a war. You're a clown, you're low life, and you're trash that you get theirs. But in the meantime, you're a god. Everything has its time. You know, whatever's going to happen to me, I ask God to give me strength, but I got to thank God. I got to thank God now while I can. And, you know, I expect the worst because as target individuals, this is what we go through. They were bringing up, you know, the rewiring of my brain is what it is. I've been saying it 24/7. They make you experience things, perceptions, manipulations of all sorts to break you down. One thing they do continuously is to manipulate you to see children in a sexual way. From the little kids, the toddlers, the babies, to the older kids. Now, if they can do that to the babies, they can do that to the older kids. If a kid looks closer to an adult, they can easily make that perception be a perception that you will have toward an adult, but apply that to a kid. They've done that to the babies, they're going to do that to the older kids, and they're supposed to make you identify with this manipulation. They truly do all these things from the most extreme to the least extreme, and they want you to identify with this. Actually, this bottom feeders talk about how they're going to frame me. They live off the manipulation. Like to stay in character, they utilize the way they manipulated me to give them this motivation to do their things. These bottom feeders are destroyed the life of a child that already live in a world where they can be normal. They can normalize framing somebody that to the point where they say they rape me. You know, this person's future is gone. Matter of fact, I think that's why they don't even want to think in advance after my death or what after I'm gone. They don't even want to think about that. So they bring up the manipulation they make me experience, and you hear this trash, now you rape me. Because to them it's like, okay, I can pretend even better now because you see what you experienced there. They're clowns. And then they're like, no, you're going to lose. Because the frame is obviously going to be a frame where this is a governmental entity is running this program. So I know the law enforcement is going to be involved. I know the justice system is going to be involved. This is governmental ran program. It's not because they're so good or so strategic. No, this is a governmental program. What we're going to experience, everything that's orchestrated is not orchestrated by some random people. This rogue group of feminists that do no, it's government running this program. These trash are just implementing the tactics. So when they bring up this, and this is I made a video maybe last year. Was it last year? Sometime last year, where there was this like teenager, like 16-ish, 17-ish kid, and pretty girl, good look. They try to make me say something else. I was trying to say good for her, but they try to say good look. Nasty trash. This 16, 17-year-old kid, a teenage kid, that they forced me to look at her in a way I would look at a woman, and so give me this like perceptions and give me this weird sensation when I see her. Now, to be honest, and it's sad for me to say that, if they can do that to babies, they can do that to older kids, right? And this kid look like a kid. I could give her immediately when you see her, you know she's like a teenage kid. It's not like, it's not even those kids that you don't know the age, but there's a kid that definitely look like, 16 high school kid. And so they made me have this perception. I'm like, okay, this is sad to say, but you can do that to the babies, so you can do that to the older kids. And matter of fact, right now they say we mapped it because in 2014, I followed somebody on Snapchat who I keep bringing. Her name is Ocean. This person looked like she was an adult when she wasn't. She literally, there's a picture of her, like you cannot imagine this person to not be an adult. And so for them, they take whatever they can to be like, no, we mapped because you remember in 2014, you thought this person was an adult. So to make you accept this manipulation you have today, this is how they create this fantasy. And they really want you to accept this shit. They truly want you to be believing these things. Then they tell you you're going to be knocked out and tortured, like whatever's going on, the horrible things that are going to happen to me. We know who's the pedophiles. Well, they are here rewiring the brain to make you have perceptions from the babies. I mean, like the little kids to the toddlers, to the 10-year-old, to the 11-year-old. Of course, the older kids, they're going to do that. And then they use this retard to bring, now we're mad, Dad. This trash. But that's why they don't want to be seen, because remotely, they can say all these things in front of me. They know it's over. It's over. You will never make me identify with this manipulation that they renowned to be doing in this bottom feeder world for pedophiles. That's so pedophilia-centric. There's a bill that's called, and I like to say it all the time because it's real. You can Google it. And National Defense as Department of Defense Network Abuse Act. What this bill does is, because in 2018, this trash that is interacting with me, the entities contracting them, the DOD, were ranked the 19th out of 3,000 for trafficking child porn when reviewing the network in the United States, the computer network, the internet network. The DOD network was 19th out of 3,000 for trafficking child porn. So you understand, when you talk about pedophilia, not only this trash use this pedophilia type of torture to break people down, and then they have this retard that I will never respect in my life, to implement these ways of perceiving children. But the entities who are running this program have problem with pedophilia so much so there's a bill to try to limit the amount of child porn they're downloading and trafficking using the government devices. The good devices give it to them by the Pentagon. So you gotta understand, this trash are low life. So for me, it's like, listen, not only I know that these people have these tactics of manipulating perceptions, thoughts, and rewiring the brain in so many ways, but the ways they've been using to break people down has been very pedophilia-centric. No, I'm not the first one to say it. I won't be the last one to say it, because other target individuals say the same thing. So right now, they're really focusing on this teenage kid. It's a teenager, it's like 16-year-old kid, and as I'm saying that, they try to make me, even forcing my speech to try to say something so they can use that against me. They try to make me say something that is something that's going to be disturbing or something like that, and then try to gaslight me. They live off reality they create. So this like 16-year-old girl, they can make me imagine her, like see her in an adult way, but she's still like a kid. And after that, because she still kind of look more like a kid, like a teenage kid, then they try to make me think of the other kids that were around her, the other kids that could, harder to, they look a little bit more adultish, but they still kid, and try to play with my brain. And like, if you can do that to the babies, you think I'm gonna be like, oh no, this is real? No, of course I know. And you're going to force me to have this nasty perception toward children to break me down. Because they want you to identify with this pedophilia manipulation they make you have. While these trash are truly the pedos. And I will never identify with this nasty trash. And this trash, when they make you experience these things, they empower these losers that are children to help them for the acting of how they say they're going to try to say, they are creating the story that, no, you made me, you did this to me, you did trash us. Pooh, what you going to do after the nasty trash? Like, this is, to me, I'm like thankful. Because this is a normal life for them right now. This is the normal life. And then they try to tell themselves, now we are at war. Do you think this retard can never be at war? You think this loser can be ever at war? Look at this sad piece of shit. You guys are just trash and you know that. We are trash right now. For whatever incentives we get out of it. And they come in all shape and form. Huh? I don't think this poverty have to do anything. Because people with a lot of money will do the same thing. Well, maybe not to that level. They probably will not sell their kids in these ways. But it's some cowardly, bottom period, low lifeness. When I hear them like use their dog to bark and I see this trash, like, yo, go do your nasty things. Talk about your map. I heard ran by pedophiles. You can't even say this pedophile's name. There's this name that Roy Moore, which somebody tried to say it in a way. But they can't say it. This man literally was picking up kids as young as 14 years old when he was a 35-year-old assistant DA. As I'm saying, they try to change things around. They live in a disturbing and dignified way. I'm not saying they don't live in uncomfortableness. They're healthy. They can live whatever life they want. But this is the life that they chose. And it's cowardly. Can you imagine saying, yeah, I'm going to watch you scream? Because I'm like, okay. What does it make you? Does it make you like, what, some brave person? Like, what do you want me to, like, when I'm screaming, you'll be watching? Wow. And then you're going to go for your coffee. Like, what? So for me, I got to be thankful to God. Because they've been humiliated by reality. Now for me, it's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. I understand these people have been humiliated. There's a bill called National Defense Abuse Act. That alone just shows what kind of people they are. That alone shows what kind of manipulation they do to people. That alone shows the reality of who's running the show, while you are being rewired from some of the most extreme to the worst things. To think in these disgusting ways. And you hear these retards contracted by these governmental entities with this problem of pedophilia try to make you accept these renowned manipulations and rewiring on the brain. To try to get you acceptive of this manipulation. While they came and say Roy Moore in your face. I said that name in front of him. He was scared. You should have seen the confidence he had before that. Say, finish it. And I say, Roy Moore. He came back looking worried. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. This is blasphemy, huh? Target individuals. We are dignified. Do not identify with these manipulations. They want you to accept the way they are rewiring your brain and changing the way you perceive the things that they make you perceive in these ways. From the kids or whatever ways they're changing these ways of changing you in regard to the perceptions and the manipulation. This is part of the breaking down of the ego. They want you to see yourself the way they manipulate you. Meaning, these nasty manipulations, they want you to identify with this. And they have trash here. Who don't even live life anymore. Their life is on pause to do this foulness to you. They're not living life. They're not, it's like they don't even think that, okay, after this, what's going to happen to you? Like, when all dead and whatever, how are you going to live life? What do you think is give me a 5-year goal. Trash us. To our target individual, you are lucky. And as much suffering as you're going to go through, there's dignity in our sufferings. These trash who live life to make people struggle, what do you think life is going to be for them? Stay strong.